very much. And let me also give my gratitude to the Minister who just gave a policy statement. Minister, you represent your government in a ministry that deals with the common man generically. It is this ministry that has earned PF the nomenclature in society where they describe it as kleptocracy. And kleptocracy describes a government that takes away from its people. The way the ministers took away taxpayers' money when they should not have been in office. That is kleptocracy. In simple terms, kleptomania. A kleptomania is one who he has a neural condition where they cannot avoid to steal. That is a kleptomaniac. It is this ministry that has earned your party a very bad name from the social cash transfer. My expectation was that you, Minister, on behalf of your government, were going to tender an apology for the theft of money, $4 million. That £4 million, I stand to be corrected, that was donated by the British government and the Swedish government, which occasioned the dismissal of the then Minister of Community Development and Social Services, together with the Postmaster General, who was managing the funds on behalf of PF, a certain Mr. Macpherson Chanda, kleptomaniac.
Order, Mr. Nkombo. There was no need of going to that extent, of naming somebody. That is becoming now personal.
I gladly withdraw that. I intend, however, to quote. I withdraw that. I intend to quote from the document that I have, and I'm sure quotations are not prohibited. And I want to quote from the Zambia Daily Mail. At the time when President Edgar Lungu fired the Minister of Community Development and Social Services, and I quote, open quote, Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Emerin Kabanchi, has become the first victim of the social cash transfer scandal Zambia has recorded. She has been fired by President Edgar Lungu today. And President Edgar Lungu has also fired Postmaster General Macpherson Chanda over the same issue. And I'll lay this paper, a government paper, and I'll anchor my debate right there, that we should understand why the Zambians believe that kleptomaniaism is the way they describe your government. Mr. Chairman, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services was created.
Order. A point of order is raised.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson.
By the way, we will not move with points of order. We are not going to move with points of order, and I'm only going to allow this one. We have to make progress. We have to make progress.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Chairperson. Chairperson, I'll be very brief. Is the Honorable Member for Mazabuka in order to keep referring to this hard-working government as kleptomanias, meaning thieves? We know that thieves is unparliamentary. Stealing is unparliamentary. So is he trying, by all means, Mr. Speaker, to demean all these ministers here, including the innocent people like Macpherson Chanda is mentioning, who cannot come and defend themselves in this house? Is he in order to refer to government as kleptomania and also to drag the names of innocent people in his debate, including matters that are before the court? Who told him that Honorable Kabanchi has been convicted? I need your serious ruling, Mr. Chairperson. I thank you.
Order. The point Mr. Nkombo wanted to deliver on that part has been heard. And therefore, I don't expect the honorable member debating to refer to that. In any case, there is serious need to concentrate on the budget. So as the honorable member continues debating, I want him to move away from that point and also dwell on the vote that we are looking at. May the honorable member, Mr. Nkombo, continue.
Let me read from PF manifesto so that we now know to separate the boys from the men. In 2011-2016 manifesto of PF, I quote from page 22 of your own document, where you are dealing with social protection. And this is what you had to say. You said that when the PF, subject to the cautions of the preceding paragraph, specific measures to be included in our comprehensive policy will include the poorest family will be helped in accessing education and health to ensure that they and their children are not excluded from basic services. That the very vulnerable families will be helped to self-reliance through delivery of inputs, packs for rural areas, skills training, micro-business, development of activities in urban areas. That people affected by unforeseen natural disasters or shocks will be supported with programs to support immediate survival and restore strength and livelihood. This was PF, and I'll lay this on the table now. Let's look at how the situation stands today. The budget of 105, am I right? Yeah. 3% of it is going to social protection. Just tell me how, under the sun, you can achieve these aspirations of your manifesto. Today, Mr. Chairman, Lusaka is mayhem. I will deal with an issue of street children. When there was a lady who was MP for Mafinga in the MMD era, she took care of the issue of street children. She's on record. That is the legacy she's going to go to her grave with. I want you, my niece, Honorable Minister, to go with the same legacy of removing these kids. Just now, your colleague, the Minister of Religion, was speaking about morals and values. Go just here at Northmead and see how these street kids have started having sexual intercourse in broad daylight. Their children have become fathers, living off the wall. And yet there's a government in place. Don't bury your heads in the sand. We know. Things are not okay. And with this figure of 3% that you are putting in a budget to deal with the street children, just street children, maybe you want to take the route when it's out of control now. You want to take the route of Jean-Bertrand Aristide, the president of Haiti, who decided that now he's just going to start shooting the children to go home. We don't need to go that. A government that is serious should be able to remove the children from the streets, starting from Lusaka, where you live. Isn't it a shame, Honorable Minister, lady, that you drive with your flag and you see beggars with arms? When this lady that I was referring to was minister, she put placards all over the shore to say to give alms is an offense. They are no longer there. They have been replaced with PF flags everywhere in the city. Bring sanity to this country, dear friends. And one of the things that you people from the north, you send me to Kula Mpanga, right? Yeah, that's the point. That same Mutu Kula Mpanga is going to haunt you one day because those kids, they do not have homely love. They do not have affection. Meaning a small plant, when it grows, that's a forest or something like that. The point I'm trying to drive, Mr. Chairman, is that this is a matter that requires immediate attention. Because these people, these youngsters, they've started having generations. They have started having clans of the war. And you sit here saying we are in government. Government of what when you cannot deal with basic things of removing street children? Go to Independence Avenue. This is where the president lives, not so. At the mosque or the SDA church. You will see right now as I'm talking to you, kids with fellow kids on their back asking for money at this hour. And you are sitting here giving us flowery language, but in the meantime, social cash transfer, kleptomaniac, gone, stolen. And then somehow it found itself back on the account. What kind of trickery is that? What kind of a trickery is that that people, even now, why is the former minister of community development still appearing in court if that money was not stolen, it was found? Somebody tell me among you here, why the Minister of Legal Justice is the one who should probably direct my answer. Why is the minister, if the money was found, why is this person whose name I quoted, Mr. F. Macpherson Chanda, who I believe as kinsman in this parliament, in this chamber, why is he not reinstated? If money was found, why you cannot fool people all the time, you people. You can't. Some of these things are so plain to see. And when we talk about kleptomaniacs, this is why Zambians call you that. It's not me. They say PF chipani chabaka walala. That's what they say. And now, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The founder of your party, Mr. Michael Sata, he abhorred the behavior that you're carrying on. He didn't like it. The cocktail, I think of the group that you are now, is explosive. It is explosive. What I need us to do is to agree that there's a problem. And this is a non-political matter. It is a non-political issue because it involves all of us. It sits at our own security because these kids, these youngsters who have not experienced family love have got hearts made out of stone. They don't value no life. Because for them, life is like the Third World War. Life is like the Armageddon. They live off the wall. You go in the comfort of your offices, calling yourselves ministers of government, flying a flag. There's a reason why some of us don't fly flags. You do. It's because your first point of call is to deal with the interests and aspirations of those who stood up to vote for PF to be in government. No contest about that. So you can't come here giving us flowery language, talking about gay rights, talking about all these things. The issue is that Zambians are in trouble. And part of the bulk, the biggest part of the trouble Zambians are in is governance. 3% Honorable Kampamba Mulenga, Minister of, you should actually have protested to the Minister of Finance. To give you so little is a desire for your party to you to be a failure. I promise you I'll never blame you for failing because you're already a failure. 3%, you can't do much. And of this 3% of the budget, the bulk of the 3% is personal emolument to pay the bloated big Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare. When there was a normal government, it was called MMD. I want you to know what used to happen. And some of you were here. At the closure of every meeting, the Minister of Community Development, and I would like you to take a leaf from that, would look at what was available in uplifting people from their poverty. If it was a tractor, if it was a hammer mill, they would give at that time all the 150 constituencies, one by one. If it was the Ministry of Sports, as a matter of example, if they are giving 10, 20 footballs, they will give to all the constituencies. We used to go as members of parliament to go and sign for those things. Some of them even got jailed because they put those hammer mills in their backyards. Emulate that. That's what the constitutional dictate is telling you, that you must develop this country equitably. Don't do this thing that the leader was talking about here, that 93% of the development program are only going to one side. You shouldn't do it. It's just making you unpopular, extremely unpopular as a group of people. And time has come for you to remove your heads from the sand like an ostrich and face reality, no matter how bad it looks, and face it. We have a country to look after. And for now, you are the ones who are charged with the responsibility of looking after this country. Honorable Kampamba Mlenga, 3%, if I were you, I would riot. This is a recipe for failure on your part. You won't make it, Honorable Minister. It may sound funny. You will not manage. But how did we find ourselves in this situation? We found ourselves in this situation because of the insatiable appetite for PF to borrow money, money which they cannot even pay back. Now, 50% of our budget is going to debt service. Look at you. 50%. 6% to defense. And I'm told that in there, that defense, there are people who have bought farms for $2 million. That's obscene money. $2 million cash in Zambian economy. Come on, people.
Order, Mr. Nkombo.
Sir.
That is not necessary, sir.
Money has been pilfered by... That's
order. I'm still talking. It's not necessary in this vote. And I think let's just concentrate on the vote than bringing in issues which are not supposed to be discussed at the moment. Continue.
I'm winding down. Honorable Kampamba Mlenga, your desires as a PF minister to uplift people from poverty can only be equated to a nun who swore to chastity or a high priest who swore to celibacy being pregnant or impregnating a nun. It's not possible for you to achieve what you want. It is the same as a nun who swore to chastity, finding themselves going to the delivery, to the maternity wing to go and give birth. Or a priest who swore to celibacy, impregnating a nun. You can't manage. You people are on your way out. In the area you kiss this place goodbye, the better, because you have failed.